Community is an intergovernmental organization composed of 7 countries in the Great Lakes region of East Africa. It includes the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the United Republic of Tanzania, the republics of Kenya, Burundi, Rwanda, South Sudan, and Uganda. Yes, you are right. I'm talking about the East African Community. But the EAC has not started now. So, why did the East African Community collapse? In 1977, the East African Community collapsed due to Kenya requesting more seats in the decision-making organs, disagreements between member countries, and the different economic systems between countries, primarily between Tanzania and Kenya. How was East Africa Community formed? The treaty for the establishment of the East African Community was signed in Arusha on the 30th of November 1999. The treaty entered into force on the 7th of July 2000 following the conclusion of the process of its ratification and deposit of the instruments of ratification with the Secretary-General by all the 3 partner states. What are the objectives of East African Community? The EAC aims to achieve prosperity, competitiveness, security, stability, and political unification in East Africa. The partner countries, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi, aim to create a political federation that would expand and reinforce economic, political, social, and cultural integration. With that said, what are the principles of East African Community? I've got the answer. Art 6 of the EAC Treaty provides for the fundamental principles that governs the achievement of the EAC objectives. The principles include settlement of disputes and good governance, including adherence to the principles of democracy, the rule of law, accountability, and transparency. Art. But what are the main issues that East Africa is currently facing? East Africa is globally recognized for its rich biodiversity and iconic landscapes. Managed well, these resources spur economic growth and improve livelihoods. However, factors like climate change, wildlife crime, habitat fragmentation, human-wildlife conflicts, and urban expansion are threatening conservation efforts. With that said, does East Africa Community have a future? To answer this, let's look at what is the future of East Africa. Despite minor and major disruptions, East Africa has retained its position as one of the fastest-growing regions on the continent, and with the African Continental Free Trade Area commencing on the 1st of January 2021, the region holds the potential for accelerating its development even further. Speaking on the future, which city is more developed in East Africa? Nairobi, Kenya is the most developed city in East Africa, with Kenya being the most developed. As one of the most sophisticated and developed urban economies in East Africa, Nairobi is rich in natural assets and human resources and is strategically located to facilitate local and international business. Now that we are talking of East African Community taking over Africa, just how developed is the EAC? Does it have a smart city? Which is the smartest city in East Africa? The amazing story of Konza Technopolis in Kenya is an example to many cities around the world. Konza is a smart city built from scratch, meaning that the city doesn't have to deal with inherited infrastructural or social challenges. The EAC aims at widening and deepening cooperation among the partner states and other regional economic communities in, among others, political, economic, and social fields for their mutual benefit. The East African Community is the regional intergovernmental organization of the republics of Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, and the United Republic of Tanzania with its headquarters in Arusha, Tanzania. The Treaty for Establishment of the East African Community was signed on the 30th of November 1999 and entered into force on the 7th of July 2000 following its ratification by the original 3 partner states, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. The Republic of Rwanda and the Republic of Burundi acceded to the EAC Treaty on the 18th of June 2007 and became full members of the community with effect from the 1st of July 2007. It appears to be that regional unions and organizations are quite fashionable during the last decades. For instance, the implementation of the euro in 1999, the creation of BRICS in 2009, the Eurasian Economic Union in 2014, and the TPP in 2016. Nevertheless, there is one regional organization that is particularly exciting to follow in the last decade that is gaining traction: the East African Community. The EAC is an intergovernmental organization founded in the year 2000 that seeks to create a new political union between the nations of Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and South Sudan. The international interest in the EAC significantly increased after the Democratic Republic of Congo also officially joined the EAC group last year. In order to build a new East African Federation, back in 2018 a committee of experts was formed to initiate drafting a constitution for the new federation, with the objective to ratify it by 2023. On top of that, the EAC member states have compromised to introduce the East African shilling as the new currency for the EAC common market by 2024. If this new federation is finally created, it would entail a major geopolitical shift in the continent, and it will become a new global power in terms of population and natural resources. Currently, the EAC is home to an estimated 283.7 million citizens, of which over 30% is urban population. With a land area of 4.8 million square kilometers and a combined gross domestic product of US $305.3 billion. Therefore, the EAF would instantly become the largest African state by population and land mass, and the 7th largest in the world by size. The benefits of founding the EAF are many. For starters, it would offer landlocked nations like Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and South Sudan access to the sea without customs barriers. Secondly, it would facilitate internal trade and freedom of movement inside the Federation, which combined with other African trade agreements like COMESA or FTA, would strengthen inter-African trade and industry. At the same time, the EAF would empower the region's commercial standing, since many large international corporations will be now attracted to invest in such a large market under a single customs union and legal system. And finally, the interests of local businesses will be better represented globally under the united umbrella of the EAF state. However, when analyzing any political body, one must not limit itself to simply studying the map, observing the geography, reading large numbers like total population or GDP growth, and drawing conclusions from there. But reality is covered under many more layers of complexity. If EAC policy makers truly desire to create a well-functioning political union that increases the overall standards of living and brings stability to the region, then it is necessary to conduct a faithful critical analysis of the East African Federation project. It is undeniable that the road ahead is going to be long and arduous. However, the ambition and potential that this project promises are also very powerful. If the EAF is finally created, it will become one of the greatest politico-economic multilateral unions since the foundation of the European Union, and it will likely represent the greatest achievement of political cooperation in Africa's recent history. The longevity of this dream since the 1960s, and the passion that its advocates demonstrate, reveals a genuine desire for many East Africans to build a better future through cooperation and dialogue. Although the obstacles mentioned beforehand are great and complex, none of them are impossible to resolve in the medium and long term. Many lawmakers inside the EAC are working hard towards sorting out the challenges ahead, but they need the solidarity, willingness to trust, and goodwill of their heads of state in order to succeed. As Robert Schuman, one of the founding fathers of the European Union, once said, "Europe will not be made all at once or according to a single plan. It will be built through concrete achievements which first create a de facto solidarity." Thank you for watching Flav Knows. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. Remember, you have not cause you ask not. Ask God anything you want and you shall be given. It does not matter how sinful you are. Trust me, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, says the Lord. See you in the next video. Subscribe for more videos are coming.